Hey you guys, happy Back Talk Thursday. We have an exciting episode today. I'm really excited. One of my goals I've been saying for past episodes was I really wanted someone who works in the beauty industry, and I was able to secure someone who I actually went to for services. So I'm really excited. Her name is Tabena Walker. She's a licensed esthetician, lash tech, permanent makeup artist. She's also the manager of Eye Candy Beauty Cure, which is located here in Brooklyn. And she also offers classes, for anyone who wants to make money, extra money, a side hustle in the beauty industry. So it's just a full kind of service. So I'm really excited about it because I know she just has a lot of, information to share. So we're going to wait for her to join the live. I think I did that right. Okay. Let me her. Oh my God, am I glitching? I think I'm glitching. Talk to me nice. I hate having to transfer the live videos to YouTube because when I edit them, I have to cut out like all of this and get straight to the interview because it's just me chatting to myself. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Let me see if she got it. Got the invite. Nope. Mm-mm-mm. Ugh, and I hate how this works. There she goes. I hate how, as much as I do these lives, I never know how to work it to add somebody. Like, it doesn't work out. Okay. Let's say you're unable to join, girl. Oh, here we go. Why does it do that? That be scaring me. Hey, girl.
Hi.
That be scaring me when it be like, so somebody's unable to join. I'm like, what happened?
Girl, so it popped up and I tried to click it and I said, what the hell?
I'm eventually
But you can hear me, right?
model from live. Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm eventually gonna switch from doing live because it's just not dependable. It's so shaky.
It's real shaky. It's a hit or miss. It's a real hit or miss.
Like when I first started, it was all fine, and then I'm like, oh my God, like sometimes people don't get it, or sometimes people find out last minute they can't go live. I'm like, oh my God, that means I'm gonna go to a studio. That's money.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do this to me. But hey, girl, I'm so
How
happy.
are you?
Girl, I'm good. I'm interviewing like crazy.
As you should. As you should. As you should.
Bosses don't live like this.
Hello. Let's not even talk about it. The stress.
But before we get into like the questions, I just wanted to say that you were someone I really wanted to have come on because I remember when I first went to you was during the pandemic and you were working out of your house.
Yes.
And then your first location and then you to this location. And for someone who's operating a business from the pandemic to now, and I see a lot of discord about like beauty industry professionals like going 9 to 5s, and you've been very consistent. So I feel like you have a lot of insight to share, a lot of advice, and also I'm proud.
Well, girl,
I'm on the bag,
so literally before I even start, who wants to make a grand appearance because he's wants to be annoying.
God, I'll interview you later, boy.
Okay, this is my interview. But yes, girl, the trend. First of all, pandemic. I appreciate you even coming to my house. That's one. I didn't have no choice. Listen, I tell people I like the clients who supported me from coming to my house to follow me to the studio and then follow me to the store. I appreciate everybody because everybody's seen the growth. I appreciate everybody noticing, sticking with me, and just going through the process with me because it's not easy when you make a complete career change and then you have to build yourself up from basically the beginning, from the bottom. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate you. That's
about that. What made you want to do a career? Because this is, there's no guarantees in this.
Girl, first of all, there's no PTO in this. There's no time off in this. For real. But honestly, I feel like I was forced to make the change. I tell everybody, like, the pandemic was definitely like it was a sit down, reevaluate yourself, reevaluate your life, and kind of figure out what's the next step.
Mm-hmm.
I was laid off, like the entire world, as far as that goes. And I basically was just trying to figure out what was my next step. And at the time, my best friend, she had already started the business, and the business was like 4 years already old. Like, we were doing makeup for Carnival, so I was always the one handling the money for her and stuff like that. So I was always like the side in the back, but always helping.
Mm-hmm.
And after that slowed down, I was basically in my career. I was doing accounting for like construction for like 9 years, and that, and it's yeah. Yeah. So doing accounting for 9 years in like the construction industry as a woman, as a black female, it ain't the easiest way to maneuver through, and you do face a lot of you're the angry black girl, or you got to tone down your blackness to to accommodate.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to a space where I didn't want to do that no more. So it's like I know I may talk assertive. I don't come from a bad place, but it's just who I am, and that doesn't come off the right way to a lot of people. So I just decided I don't think the office setting is for me anymore, and that's okay with me. The beauty industry was introduced to me by my best friend because she does the permanent makeup. That's her baby, right? The brows, the lips, things like that. While the pandemic was going on and I was sitting at home, she was like, just come help me out, or whatever the case is. I'm like, all right, no problem. And while I was there, I seen the business and how everything was running. I'm like, I want a piece of this. Like, I like how this is going. She was like, do you want to do services? I said, yeah, why not? So the first thing was lashes, because that's the only thing that they didn't offer. And she wasn't doing lashes herself, but she was like, if you want to learn it and you want to bring it to the team, we could do that. I'm like, all right, cool. She literally paid my deposit for my training, and I paid the balance.
Come on,
and
Sequoia.
That was her. Yes, that was Sequoia. And that was her investing in me, and I appreciate that. Like, she didn't have to, and sometimes you don't have friends that really invest in you. So that, and at the time of like the pandemic, everybody was feeling down, and to have somebody invest in you for a whole career path is just crazy.
Right.
So she paid the deposit, I paid the balance, and I took my training November 2020.
Okay.
I took I took my training on a Wednesday. I took my first client on a Friday. That Friday. I didn't stop lashing since.
That's crazy, because I came to you, I believe it was for my birthday trip, so it probably was 2021. It was because I remember I was living in Brownsville, never again, but I was living in Brownsville, and my friend's daughter, we had like back-to-back appointments with you, and I would have never guessed like you were like a couple of months in. That's crazy.
Yeah. And what my mindset was, run it as if I'm running a business out of a store. Like, I had you come in, you filled out a form, an intake form. Like, I had people booking online, and I wanted to be as professional as possible so people could take me serious.
Exactly.
Because I felt like if you didn't like have these procedures, and I had masks for you guys, we was COVID-19 out, everybody was secure.
Take your shit off.
Listen, even though if I was doing it out of my house, I still was running it as a business, and I just wanted people to respect me in the business. So I just wanted to continue so that when I did get into the store, it wouldn't really be a transition. Like, everybody would already know what was the process.
Yeah.
So that was that, honestly. But what it is that night I came home from my training, I knew what I was struggling with, and I was up to 4 a.m. practicing that same night I came home from my training, and I did not stop. Like I told you, I took my first client 2 days later.
Really? Yes.
Literally took her 2 days later, and I appreciate her because she know the struggle. I didn't even get my lash bed, because I was supposed to get a lash bed with my training. I didn't get no ring light. I didn't get a lash bed. It was getting shipped to me. I did her on my couch, okay? And it was natural light outside. Like, it was a struggle, but she allowed me to take my time. That was a 4-hour process. If the lash techs out there know, literally, it takes a good 4 hours when you first start. And from then on, I literally was just trying to like make myself better as far as timing, the precision, isolation, everything. It was just like, you really just got to put that practice in if you really want that product to show. So that was the beginning.
Being that you worked in accounting, is there anything you kind of took from that into this?
Business wise, yeah, I know how to deal with people. I am a people's person. I literally could talk to anybody in the street, in a grocery store. It doesn't even matter. But that was always me, like growing up. So I knew that I know how to deal with people. Working in an office setting, you learn how to deal with different types of people from all over the world. That definitely transitions into the beauty industry and just in general, just in life, because it's, how to say,
I feel like in corporate, you have to, when you have conflicts with people, you can't handle it the way you would want to handle it. So it gives you that kind of patience, but also
it's a balance.
Yes,
it's a balance, and you have to know how to shift it sometimes because you're dealing with different people. So it does transfer over as far as that. And as far as the money go, accounting just you just know how to add your numbers up a little quicker. That's about it. But yeah,
I feel like that was a blessing for you because you were working accounting, and it's like that's how I looked at my layoff. Like, I was there for too long. I would take you too long to move, and we got to push you out. The universe, like, all right, girl.
And girl, when one thing I will say is that I always say this: when God is ready for you to move on, He makes you uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
He makes you so uncomfortable that you like gotta put that foot down and keep it pushing. Like, yeah, it's real.
Currently, me, I'm trying to trust the process, and I'm like, like, hello, somebody give me something.
The trust in the process, just that process alone, you talk to God a lot. I will say that you definitely talk to God more than usual. You have your nightly prayers, you say your morning prayers, but like, it be sometimes you just come home at night and you really just have to have that talk with God. Like, I know I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, but I need you to just show me a little, like, what else am I supposed to be doing? Because sometimes you feel like you on the right path, but then the same time you feel like you're not doing enough. And it's like, you're constantly your biggest judge, so it becomes a lot. It does.
What are some unexpected lessons that affect how you approach your work now?
Unexpected lessons. Girl. Okay, so what unexpected lessons is I will say people want the product, they want the service. Some people don't want to pay for the service. Yeah. And then you have chargebacks. That's the unexpected lesson, because you go through that situation. That's a real situation. The chargebacks, they got the service, they were satisfied with the service when they left, and then you don't know what happened in between them getting home and them getting a bank statement. I don't know. It's weird. But that's the only...
I'll only dispute something if I didn't get a product, but that's not like a service. Like, if I order something and it's stolen, and you're not helping me when I reach out to you, okay, I'm cool.
Yeah, that's weird. Exactly, but no,
And I feel like they can reach out to you. Like, your customer service is amazing. I feel like people should be able to reach out to you.
I am accessible. Like, sometimes I'll be like, damn, maybe I'm too accessible, but I am accessible. Like, y'all know y'all can text my phone at 8, 9, sometimes 10 o'clock, and I'll be like, girl, yeah, come, I'm gonna squeeze you in. Like,
that's you talking about me. I'll go to your booking site.
That's all of my loyals. That's all of my loyals. Listen, the girls that know, they know. Literally, I'm gonna text her. They gonna DM me. They go 7 o'clock in the morning. Hey, girl, I know you sleep, but when you see this, I want to know if you got anything for Friday. And I'm just like, I got you. Like,
praying somebody don't show up. I'm like, somebody not gonna show up today. I know somebody gonna be late.
Oh my God! But I'm just blessed that everybody knows that they can reach out to me. They are comfortable to reach out to me. Y'all know I make y'all so comfortable. I done tuck y'all into blankets, put y'all pillows, put your heads on pillows.
Y'all, I'll be in there snoring. We kiki, we talk, have girl talk. 5 minutes later,
listen, we have a whole karaoke, and then they be knocked out. So it works out best for everybody. Literally, it's balance.
So you're basically like a triple threat. You're esthetician, you're lash tech, permanent makeup artist. At what point did you move from doing a lash tech to saying like, let me learn these other two crafts and add that under my belt?
So, all right. So in the industry itself, I feel like it is a lot of people who are self-taught, which is fine, right? Like I respect everybody who's self-taught, who got training, who didn't get training. It is what it is. For New York State, you need to be licensed for them to put some type of respect on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you work in a storefront or an establishment, you need to be licensed. So it's like I didn't want to have any like ties down to me where I'm like tied down to only lashing. I can only do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though I'm self-taught and it's not really, oh, you need to have a lash license. That's not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you do need to have an aesthetics license in New York State, right? To open a store or anything like that where you're providing a service to people and sanitary is up to par, everything like that. So that was really my main thing. I wanted to be as legit as possible. And also my best friend, she also is an esthetician as well. And she was like, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. Who am I to complain with that? Right. So that was really it. I was just like, if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm going to push through and do it 100%. So I went, so I started lashing. I want to say probably 8 months later, I enrolled into esthetician school.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to go part-time because I still wanted to take my clients. Mm-hmm. So I was in school part-time. That was a 10-month program, and I was still taking clients. So as I'm doing my lashing, I'm building clientele while I'm in school. I'm practicing my facials as well. And everything was working out. While I was there, like, I really fell in love with facials. Like, it was unexpected. I did it because I needed the license. But I got in there, and I was like, I'm killing this. I like this. What's this?
No, the hand movements and the reels. I'd be like, oh, she like touchy.
Girl, it just started flowing. I was like, I'm really good at this. And I was like, you know what? Let me really lock into it. So facials, I love facials. I used to, when I think about it, I'm like, I literally used to like take my extract my ex's like ingrowns for free. For free.
Now you gotta
and I was like, nah, y'all gonna have to pay me now because I know what I'm doing. So that's where I was like, you know what? I always Dr. Pimple Popper, all that stuff. I'm always into it. So I'm like, you know what? This is up my alley. Let me see what's this about. And that's how that really worked out for me.
You scaled very quickly, and I'm thinking about it because you said you started your classes November 2020.
Mm-hmm.
2021, you were still in your house, but I think 2022, you was at the first location.
We was in the studio. Yep, downstairs.
And you're at the location you're at now. So
yes.
For someone watching this who's probably still working out of their house, like, how does someone know that it's time to kind of move on and get that storefront?
So, okay, when you're working out of your house, that's your personal space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me just touch on that. So for me, what changed for me was that I got COVID working from home from a client.
I remember that.
And I was like, I'm not taking nobody else from the house. And I got COVID. And that was my second time getting COVID. So I was just like, enough is enough. Like the first time was initially 2019 when everybody was sick, but having somebody come in and into my space and then give it to me was a lot for me. So I was like, I just need to cut ties with that. And that's when I moved to the studio in the basement. And then we went to the store. But for anybody that is working out of a house, the time that you know that it's time to transition or start like, you know, putting a plan in motion is when your clientele is steady.
And what is that? Like every day?
Yeah, at least, and if you're doing two clients a day, 5 days a week, you're steady. And if your prices are pricing, you're steady. And that's just me being honest. But everybody knows their breaking point. I'm not gonna tell you a number. You know when it's time. Honestly, when everything is moving, like everything is smoothly going, and people are booking like this, it's time to leave your house. Just because you want a more professional setting, so you can deal with people professional and they can respect you professionally.
And I also think you want that boundary too of your person.
Absolutely, it's your piece. When you come home,
I had my little teeth whitening business, and I was traveling to people, and I also working out of my house, and just the idea of strangers coming to my house is never that right.
And that's the thing too. I literally remember when people was booking, I was on Facebook because I'm like, I can't look them up by their full name on Instagram. So I'm looking on Facebook. I'm looking at profile pictures just because I wanted to feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But I did deny some people that was sketchy. I'm not gonna lie. But I had to do what I had to do, right? So, and that's another reason why I kept the intake forms with a picture of your ID or something like that, because I just had to keep track of who was in and out.
Right.
And then, yeah. So
people honestly complain about that. Like the Raw Review girls complain about, like, I'm not booking if I have to upload my ID. If you are who you say you are, why not?
So
like,
there's that. Okay, so there's that, and they'll go to people. Then there's the people who really don't know the New York State laws. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's insurances that go into this. We have beauty insurances, but then we have regular insurance as well. If anything happens to you while you're doing the service, you are covered. Hence why we need your ID as proof that you were here.
Exactly.
That, like, we not doing it because we want to be bitches. But that's not what we trying to do.
That's not.
Yeah, like, we're not trying to take your identity neither. We just trying to make sure you good and that you're in good hands all around. Right? So that's basically it.
So what does that process look like to getting a storefront?
It's just like literally looking for a house.
Okay.
Like, you go through a realtor and you just like you go and see 4 or 5 houses a week or 3 to 4 a week. It just depends, honestly. Location is everything. Also, it's not the easiest because you want to make sure that your clients coming in are safe and the neighborhood is right. It's not too far from the buses and the train. You got to factor in a lot of things. Is parking available? It's so many things that go into it, and you just want to take your time with it. It's not a rush process, honestly. Just take your time.
And then you mentioned some paperwork you would need to like have your business functioning, specifically for New York State. Like, what's some other things? But I feel like when people think about getting a storefront, I don't think they kind of consider these things. They just think it's like, oh, I'm going to get a storefront, pay rent, and that's it. And I realize, there's some fees and stuff under
there
that.
Listen, you hear me talk about insurance? It's a lot. Like, it really is a lot. There's the insurance. You got to make sure that the fire extinguisher. It's so many little things. Like, they can go big scale, that can go small scale. So it's just like having all your ducks in a row is the best bet. But just like if you want a store, take your time. Like, take your time with everything that you do. Just because this, like, the system is made for us not to win, right? So literally, you want, like, there's so many little loopholes, little gray areas, things like that. Do your research. Talk to people who have businesses, like businesses for years. Get that guidance. Honestly, get the guidance. Do your research, and honestly, take your time. Those are the 3 things I can tell you, because it's not something that's like overnight. If you look at, think back to COVID time, all these crab spots that open up, they open and they're not open now.
BK Lobster.
Like, it's so many places that just they got up there quick, but then they couldn't sustain it. So now it's like, now it's closed. Like, you don't want to rush nothing. And it's just like, I get it. Everybody wants a business, but the that goes into it is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, like, everybody knows that the first 2 years of business, you're not really making no money. You really put money out, but you really got to trust the process in it. And if you're not willing to wait it out, then, you know, sometimes things are not for everybody. But I wish everybody the best, literally, because we all trying to figure it out.
Have you had moments where you wanted to give up and you're like, I'm about to go back to my 9 to 5?
Listen, I feel like everybody, as entrepreneurs, everybody go through that. Like, of course, we want it to be successful, but then you have your, all right, the week just started, ain't nobody on the calendar, but then Friday hit and everybody hits you up. You book from Friday, you book Saturday, you squeeze the people on a Sunday, but you literally just have to trust the process. I feel like if you know what you can produce as an entrepreneur, as far as services, you know your work, you know how good it is, you're not worried. But at the same time, the way how the economy is, if people don't got money, they not coming to spend. And that's just real. And it's just like, you go through the storm. You have your ups and you have your downs. I feel like as business people, everybody knows that you have your up season, you have your down season, and you just gotta wait it out.
Right.
You wait it out.
I agree. It's like it's hard for me to be consistent, but I see from the people I interview or just people I know what being consistent can do for you, like how far you can go, and you really do have to just trust the process and stick it out.
It's funny because when we initially opened the store, it's about to be 2 years this December coming. Yeah. Right. So I had at that time I had started a job. I was working another job. I was like, you know what, let me just get a little extra money, whatever the case might be. When I left that job, I left January 2nd. It was going into 2022. 22, because last year's 23. So yeah, going into that year, and I was like, yeah, I said this is my last day. The next day, I went to the store because the store had already opened. Next day, I went to the store. I posted lash model needed. I went in just to do the lash model so that I can post content and let everybody know I'm here full time now. And me just being there doing a model, 3 people walked in. I had 3 clients.
Oh, you took walk-ins
in the beginning, right? So I'm just like, you know what? I'm here to hustle. Like, I just gotta let everybody know I'm here on a regular Monday through Friday, this and the third, whatever. And I didn't stop. Like, I literally went in. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I decided that this is what I'm doing full time. I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to. It's not for me, girl. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even though starting out it may be a little slow, but it'll pick up. You just gotta really push through it.
I feel like this goes into my next question about pricing. I feel like people are so quick to want to be like, I make this much money doing lashes. What do you think are like reasonable prices for someone starting out versus someone who's like yourself, who's an expert?
So starting out, like even when I do like my seminars and stuff like that, and I have like the people that I mentor and stuff, I tell them like, if depending on your situation, depending on your area, like when I say situation, where you're set up at. If you're in your house, you want to be reasonable because you are in your house. You know, some people may not feel comfortable, so your prices should match, certain things. So I was like, starting out, don't charge.
That's the first time I ever heard an entrepreneur actually say that. Like, they think it doesn't matter where they're doing it.
No. And this is just starting out, because also you're starting out. Like, your work is not up to par. You're practicing on these people at the same time. You're doing work, but you're practicing. They're trusting you. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make it reasonable, nothing too crazy. Starting out, I feel like you should, because so much work goes into it, you shouldn't be charging less than 95.
Okay.
Right?
That makes
right? So 95 for like a volume set if you're starting out, right? And this is just depending on the demographics also, because if you're in New York, in LA, of course, if you're in LA, you want to start at 100 and better. Just because, yeah. But we in New York, so it's kind of like everybody trying to figure it out. So nothing less than 95 if you're doing like a volume set. 85 for a classic. Nothing crazy.
No, that's my.
Yeah, like, okay, like something simple. Like, it doesn't have to be nothing crazy. Now, if you start out and you're in a studio, you can do 100 and better. Just saying. But there are some people who classic set starts at 180. You get what I'm saying? And you just have to watch like the people in your area, what they're charging. You don't want to be too competitive and you don't want to be too low. I tell like lash techs, don't lowball yourself, because the work that goes into it is tedious. It's a lot. So you don't want to, like, your back is hurting, your neck is hurting. You don't want to lowball yourself and you walking home with $50 a night. That's crazy.
And when you think about it, it takes a while. That's a couple of, like, if we starting out, like you said, it took you like 4 hours
in the beginning.
So that's 8 hours in a day.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. So it just has to make sense. So I tell like anybody coming up, it don't matter what business you are doing, don't lowball yourself just because you feel like you want to get people in the door. People are going to come because at the same time, you're not charging what the other people are charging. They're going to come. It's just that give yourself time. Don't watch the money so much in the beginning, but give yourself time to build your craft. Because when you build your craft, then you can charge what your craft is worth. It has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a beginner's work. you can't charge $200 for beginner's work. It's just not right. As just normal human being, you shouldn't do that to people. And I feel like with me, I'm very much for the people. Like, I don't lie to my clients in the sense of like, if somebody comes in with unhealthy lashes, I'm gonna tell you I'm not doing a set on you because it's unhealthy. Come use this serum, come back in a month, see me later, but I can't do that to you. Like, it's not
hungry.
It's not on my heart to do that to nobody, and I'm not money hungry. Like, all money is not good money. I tell people that all the time. Take your time. Take your time with it. So yeah.
That New York is very competitive. Like, every time I turn around, there's somebody new doing lashes. There's someone doing brows. And I could probably answer this because I've tried to go to other people and I was like, just so I have options if you're like so busy. And I'm like, I'm going back to my girl. So what are ways that's like your individual style and how you stand out from the competition?
So initially when I first started out, for some reason, I was doing lashes like how strip lashes look. And in my mind, that's just what lashes was. So I'm just like, I know I would want my lashes to look like this. So I would do people lashes like that. And they'll be like, I like it, but it's too much for me. So then I had to realize that everybody doesn't like that look. So my initial style was always wispy. I started out, wispy was always my thing. I'm just like, I'm a wispy girl. When I get my lashes done, I get them wispy. Wispy was a style that kind of took off with everybody. Like, I want this. They show me the picture. I want this. I want this. I'm like, okay, so this is just my signature. And then Sequoia was like, I don't know if you noticed, but this is your thing. Like, you be killing them wispy sets. I'm like, now that you mention it, I do.
And that's why it's called the signature.
Girl, she be pushing me. I be pushing her. It's a beautiful thing. So I tell people, if you have a tribe, keep tribing with the tribe because they are gonna get you far.
What is it like? I feel like it's a different experience for Black women who are in the beauty industry versus, other ethnicities. What are some challenges that's specific to Black women in this industry that you've had to overcome?
So in the industry, okay, so in the PMU world, sometimes, initially it was a lot of I don't want to say it too much, but Russians. It was that was their thing. Like, lashes, did you go to the nail salon, go get the lashes? You be hurting, eyes red. We don't know what type of glue they use. In coming now in this industry, we do like these conventions. It's like beauty conventions, and when we really look around the room, it's not too many people with our skin color, right? So then you have these schools that come in. There's a day where it's nothing but schools, and a lot of the young girls come looking for us because they know that we know the beauty industry. Like, you can't go to the next person and ask them for brows when they don't know how to do brows and they don't really know the up-to-date styles of brows and things like that, or lashing or things like that. So I feel like being a Black woman in the industry, we bring a lot to it because they do piggyback off of us sometimes. And they want to know what we're doing. They want to be on timing with the things that we are doing. And we do set the trend for a lot of things. So it doesn't bother me being a Black woman in the industry. I like the fact that you want to follow me. That's beautiful. I can teach you a few things. It's not an issue. But I don't want it to be like oh, she's Black in the industry type of thing.
Like it's like you don't feel welcome type of thing.
Right.
Like, have no place.
You're not welcome, but you're gonna make yourself welcome. You're gonna know who I am. I'm gonna make my claim, and that's just gonna be it. It's not I don't want to put myself out there because I don't feel welcome. I'm gonna still put myself out there. You're gonna want to know who I am at the end of the day. Type of
You mentioned convention, which is something I never heard of.
Huh?
You mentioned a convention, which is something I never heard
Girl,
of.
it's a lot. That's the thing. It's
for professionals to be going to conventions.
Yes.
I feel like you kind of learn new methods, or you kind of
thing about it with so we do IBS every year. It's usually in the 20s in March, like 23rd, 24th, around that time. And IBS is basically like one of the biggest beauty conventions. They go to Vegas, they got LA, they have a lot of different stops on their tour. New York, they do it at the Javits Center.
Okay.
It's a 3-day convention. We're there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think. Yeah. And literally it's everybody, like Shine Jam, their station is there. Mac is there. My school, they did the school side, and then there's the beauty side. So all like the beauty schools are on one side. There is barbers there. There's lash techs there. There's lash vendors. There's makeup vendors, brushes, everything you would think of beauty wise is there. Juvia's Place, everybody is there. Literally, it's a big convention beauty wise, and literally you get to connect with so many people from all over the world. But then also people don't know too much about PMU, so then we have our booth where we're usually the only PMU artists there.
Okay.
So it does get a lot of traction because people want to do these services, but they don't know where to go. So it works out.
I feel like
it works
out. Stuff people don't know about. Like they just wake up and say, "I want
a different world." It is a different world.
Seriously, they don't think they, they should be going to events like this. Like it's similar to like corporate. Like I work in corporate, so I go to conferences. Why? Because I want to network. I want to meet people. Exactly. I want to learn what's the new thing that's going on in the industry that I should know.
Exactly. So, and literally, there are so many different conferences. Like, there's so many different conferences you can do. But literally, when you get to network and just do you, and let people come around, watch you work. Like we do live models, we do lashes, we do brows, literally on site. Like we do the lips, we do everything.
Hours or is like a quick thing?
You said what?
Do it take like hours to do, or it's like a 30-minute, 45?
I give myself an hour just because while I'm working, there's people, it's like groups and groups of people around me watching me. So like I'm answering questions while I'm working on my client or my model or whatever the case might be. So I usually try to do a simple set. It doesn't usually come out simple because you know how I lash. So I just try to like make sure she comes to the table with something that's presentable.
Right.
But literally it's always a full set.
That's like the hair shows when they be doing those hair shows. I've never heard that.
Exactly. It's literally just like a hair show.
Do you think that's I think it is, but I feel like this should be a mandatory thing. Like if you want to be in the beauty industry, this is something you should be investing in, like attending. I'm sure
it's literally
go, right?
And the tickets are not expensive. That's one thing I will tell people, that whoever's in the industry, come out. Just come out. Like network, get your cards, get whatever you need to do, and come out and network. Like when you network, you meet so many different people. I literally met when we did the makeup show last year, I met this girl, and she works for the company that does Lumify. That's like eye drops for lashes.
Right.
So their station was next to us. Literally, she booked an appointment that day. She came to the shop. She bought a box of Lumify. Like I had like 2 big boxes of just drops. And I'm just like, that's just networking and connecting with people. That's why you have to put yourself out there. My issue with putting myself out there was I've always been background. Like I like to just be in the back. I want to do my part, help everybody out, and kind of just be in the background. It was hard for me to be like, okay, I'm putting myself out there. I gotta sell myself, literally. And it was a lot, but I know that my personality automatically draws people in. So I'm just like, it worked for me.
I had questions about like maintaining your clients, but that answers it kind of perfectly. You just have a person for it. But I feel like, and I'm pulling from what I'm seeing from Raw reviews. Yeah. You're just gonna get
it. No, that's fine.
What do you think is missing where there's such a disconnect between customers and beauty industry professionals on both parts? Like where customers kind of got it messed up at, and where are professionals messing up at?
So, as professionals, we try, like, at the end of the day, everybody's human, right? And I feel like it's how you deal with people. It's very big how you deal with people, and just respecting people's time, and being understanding. Not every day is gonna work out the same. You know, I don't do, like, even though I have a late fee in order, I don't do it. Like, it's at my discretion. I barely use it. You understand? Because I understand life is life, and everybody got things going on. There's traffic, you got kids. you got a husband, it's things. Everybody has multiple jobs. It's a lot of things. So when clients hit me up and say they running late, if it's ridiculously late, like I'll reschedule you and be like, listen, does this work for you? Let's try to figure this out. So it works for both of us. Where like nobody's not upset and you get your service, I get paid, we're happy, right? It I don't know, girl. Sometimes it get a little shaky.
But you answered it. I think when it comes to being a service provider, like the horrible things. I used to work. It's not the same thing.
Listen,
unfortunately,
until I became a
you are a professional. Yes, customers should carry themselves in a certain way, but you have a brand. So unfortunately, you're held to a different regard.
Absolutely.
And I love that you communicate a lot. I've never been there. You had like a rude customer. I've never got any bad vibes from you.
One thing I will tell people that, especially just as service providers, you attract your customers, right? So your energy and the person that you are is going to attract your customers. So sometimes when I do get new clients, it's just like a first date.
Yeah.
Or like me being real with you. When you have a new client come in, it is like a first date. I want to impress you and I want to make sure that you're happy with your service and I want you to come back. And when the service is done and you're happy and you're like, I'll see you in 2 weeks, that make me feel good. So it's like, I want to keep that going. So literally you attract your clientele. I tell people that. And you're not going to get nothing out of the norm, like out of the, like some random, whatever the case is, because you attract a clientele. They see you, they see your energy. I had people tell me, I watched you for a year before I booked. Yeah.
Watching what though?
I can't tell you.
I literally found you. I saw your reels. I said, well, I already know what I'm looking for. I just want what Ashley's doing. She looked like she's doing good. Let me go to her.
I cannot tell you what they watch, but literally, and then people that I mentor or I trained before, they like, oh, you know, I watched you for a year before I booked the training, or I watched you for like 6 months before I booked an appointment. I don't know what they're watching for, but I appreciate you.
You know why? Because it's like your page has your work there, so we know you can do the job. So it's not, but you're not posting like, hey y'all, Tabena here, like, so they can't get a sense of your personality until they book you. So it's like, what do you look? I don't know. Maybe I'm just paranoid.
Girl, you and me both. Like I just let people do what they do. And you still come, you support. I appreciate it either way. You could have been watching me for 2 years, girl. Just pull up,
right?
Just pull up on me. But yeah,
I'm trying
it's a real thing.
Oh,
it's a real thing. I was like, okay. I said, well, I'm glad you finally made it.
What do you think of some boundaries that I guess service providers should have? That's like a non-negotiable, things that you should have set in place as soon as you start, and you kind of just don't, I guess, lay away from them.
Okay, not even like a boundary per se, but I just feel like it's common courtesy. If you are, as a client, like if you're in the spa and it's multiple people in the spa, you want to have a conversation and you may feel like the music is too loud, you can step outside. Putting your phone on speaker when it's multiple people in the waiting room, that's just a lot. You know, I just feel like I feel like the clientele that come into the spa, they already know what's up. Like, you're gonna come, we gonna sing, we gonna listen to music, but it's like just respect everybody in the space at the same time, because it's not one-on-one majority of the time. It's people in and out all day, and then sometimes we do have people that come with their kids. You know, it just gotta be respectful for everybody. That's as far as boundaries go. Nothing crazy.
So you manage people now, like you have employees?
Girl, yeah, but right now it's just me and Sequoia. Oh.
Okay, now, you've had employees.
Yes, I had what employees. Is that? We also had summer youth employees as well.
So what is that transition like from your artist, you have to make your money, but then you also have to put your manager hat on and manage people?
It's not the first time. I did a little thing before, but being, first of all, I'm the cool one. Like, I'm the cool person. Like, I'm the kiki, whatever the case is. But it sometimes get hard because I'm just like, you shouldn't be doing that. Let's not stray away from what we originally been doing. I'm not a strict person. I come from a place of just we adults.
Right.
And we here to make money and, you know, have a good time. We kiki. It's literally a sisterhood at the end of the day. But let's just be respectful to everybody. We all here to do the same thing, which is make money, go home. That's it.
I love that. I love that. So we are running out of time. Yeah. I truly appreciate this.
No problem.
One last thing, and then I want you to plug yourself so the girls know where they can find you. Describe yourself in 3 words. That always gagged them when I asked them that.
Girl, 3 words. I am strong.
Mm-hmm.
I am loving, and I am resilient.
Period. Yeah. That's what.
Because when life be life, and girl, got push on
and
through.
In a retrograde right now because it's just been. I don't know. I have every other year. I have a good year, and I'm like, okay, I'm out of the, and then the next year is like more stuff.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's the how we pull through it. Mm-hmm. It's literally the pull through, because sometimes I sit back after everything has passed, and I'm like, I don't even know how you got through it, but you got through it, and that makes me feel good because I'm like, my next whatever goes on, I already know I can take care of it. Like, that ain't nothing. So it builds character, girl. It builds character. It builds character.
I appreciate you coming on.
No problem.
To talk about, before you tell people to find you, you know, what kind of legacy you want to leave behind and just what's next for the company.
So honestly, legacy I want to leave behind more so is just pour into yourself. Like, anybody who's gonna want to do lashing, want to be an esthetician, want to do just want to do anything in life, period, pour into yourself, because when you pour into yourself, what you produce from that is unmatched. It's literally unmatched. And when you know you could do something, it just makes you feel a different type of way. It gives you a different type of motivation. So nothing is nothing is nothing you can't do. Let me just say that. Don't feel like there's limitations to whatever you can do. It's whatever you're doing right now, elevate it and keep elevating. If you feel like you've done elevating here, move on to the next spot, elevate there. And that's really it.
You'll know what that is. You'll feel it.
You'll feel it.
Feeling.
I feel like I tell people every time when you get to a moment in your life, it's like a transition moment. Like, it's no date on it. You just wake up one day and it shit just hits you. And it ain't really to say you gotta question it. Just go with it. This is what God got planned for you. Because sometimes the plan that you got, it ain't it. He's trying to show you something different. So
probably think it's too small. You gotta think bigger.
That's it. That's really it, honestly. As far as the business, girl, all I can say is just stay tuned.
That's why we got franchises coming out.
Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. We got something on the way, but just stay tuned. Good things. Good things.
They could find you, how they could book, how they could be you.
Of course. So the link is in the bio at Talk to Me Nice, and also my personal business page when I post all my lashes and stuff like that is Just Her on Instagram as well. So either one, you can click on the Talk to Me Nice and go over to Just Her, or go to Just Her and follow either one. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes, girl. No problem, girl. Anytime. Yeah. I appreciate it. It was a good time.
I wish you so much more success. I can't talk my money up so I could go, because I have on strip right now.
Yeah, come see me soon.
I
ain't seen a few months, but I know life been life, and we trying to figure it out.
But when I get a little corn, I'll be like, do I want to be irresponsible?
Sometimes.
And then I get a pill.
Just sometimes. Maybe on occasions. That's it.
But definitely when I start working, my first paycheck, after I pay my rent.
No, girl, listen, whenever you ready. It ain't no rush. Literally, I know y'all pull up whenever y'all ready.
I'm tired of waking up looking like a bald eagle, okay?
Listen, I'm there. I got some strips on right now. I just came from vacation. I'm like, all right, these lashes ain't lashing no more. Let me put a little strip on. But I get it.
But thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. No, and make sure
problem. I appreciate you, and I'm proud of you too, girl. Keep freaking pushing. It don't even matter what's going on. You're gonna keep pushing. You're gonna keep doing what you're doing.
You're gonna make me cry. This going on YouTube. Thank you, girl. We're gonna be in.
No problem. We'll talk.
Bye.
Bye, baby.